This month in July 2020, I complete 10 years since I joined my first job, all nervous and excited at Kpmg India. I can't believe it has been 10 years since I entered the workforce, and that first job still holds a special place in my heart. And even though I don't work at any of the big fours anymore, I still think back to those 5 years I worked at Kpmg, and I think about the skills that I picked up in those years that I have been able to use and carry forward with me in every organization that I have worked at. And that's what today's video is all about. Hi everyone. My name is Meher Sindhu Batra and I'm back with another video. For those of you here for the first time, I'm a chartered accountant from India and an MBA from Imperial College London. I currently work as a strategy consultant and I also create content on all things related to careers, education, productivity and positivity in order for you to accelerate your own career and make a greater meaningful impact. As a chartered accountant student, one has to undertake a 3-year compulsory training which is called the Articleship period at an accounting firm. And I pursued mine at Kpmg India, which is why I started my first job at such a young age as an audit trainee. I have actually made a separate video on how I got my job at Kpmg, my entire interview process, as well as some of the pros and cons of working at a big four, which you can check out with the link down below as well as up here. So without wasting any more time, let's dive into what today's video is all about. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel and share and like this video in case you find it useful. Don't also forget to follow me on my Instagram page MSB Vision. I think we all learn great things at every place we work at, but somewhere along the line, we get so involved in our day-to-day activities that we forget to introspect and self-reflect on what are the things that we have learned in that experience. No work we do, no knowledge we gain ever goes to waste. Which is why I have prepared a worksheet for you, which is a self-reflection worksheet that you can use to really make a list of all the skills you are learning, whether it's at work or even in your college or university. So the first skill that I want to talk to you about is the 2 soft skills that I picked up. The first were networking and the second were communication skills. And that was because the kind of diverse number of people in multiple organizations that I was working and dealing with. During my time as an auditor at Kpmg, I worked at more than 30 clients in teams of 2 to 15 people. And because it was a client-facing role, that obviously meant that I was constantly working with different types of people, both externally, that means at the client place, as well as internally, that means with different teams within Kpmg. As an external consultant, you really have to form relationships at a quick pace. I dealt with people who were at the lowest level of the organization as well as people who were at the CXO level. Our teams within Kpmg kept changing according to client needs and expertise of different individuals. So I was constantly working with different types of managers that had different expectations and different ways of working. So that means I had to quickly adapt and learn what they expected out of me and how they wanted to present the deliverables. I feel I have always been a good listener. I really like that human connection aspect of client-facing roles, which is what I really enjoyed at Kpmg. Being able to meet and work with some of the brightest minds of the country was truly incredible. Working with such people also means you have to constantly communicate with them, whether it would be through emails, through informal means such as a text message. I really learned the nitty-gritties of presenting my ideas properly by observing seniors around me. And that brings me on to the second point, which is the skills that I picked up were truly understanding how different industries and different type of organizations work. I would give credit to my audit experience for this point, because an auditor is expected to go analyze and study the financial statements of different types of organizations, as well as go through the key factors that impact each line item of the financial statements. I was able to get a holistic view of how different departments of an organization work independently as well as together, and how each of their activities impacts the overall figure of the financial statements. I worked at clients across different industries whether it was transport, manufacturing, fast-moving consumer goods, as well as telecom. And that kind of knowledge will always be useful for you no matter what you do. So for example, if I was working as an external consultant for an organization that was in the telecom industry, and later in life I wanted to go and work at a telecom company, I can always be able to leverage that experience that I got as an auditor or as a consultant. The third skill that I picked up was producing high quality deliverables. If you work at any multinational corporation, they will always have very high standards of deliverables that they submit to their client as a report, as a recommendation, or as an analysis. Because the quality has to be top notch, I learned the nitty-gritties of preparing the best type of reports for our clients. So whether it was checking the proper formatting of everything, ensuring all the numbers are correct, and rechecking everything multiple times. Working in the Big Four really made me detail oriented, and because of that experience, I was always able to make sure that the final document I ever submit was just perfect. And that brings me on to the fourth skill I picked up, and that was following set procedures and processes for doing any task using the best tools in the market. Yes, during my experience at Kpmg, I feel I was able to go on these amazing trainings and learn about different types of IT tools that made our work easier. I was able to improve my IT skills to another level. And when I worked in smaller startups or smaller organizations in London and India later in my career, I was able to replicate those procedures and processes at those smaller firms. Those set procedures made me very organized in my thinking about the things I had to get done, about the things I had to submit. I even picked up really strong Excel spreadsheet skills at Kpmg. And that brings me on to the fifth point, which is probably the most important thing that I learned at Kpmg, and that was time management and developing a strong work ethic. Those are sort of two separate points, but I think they can be clubbed in one because there was an expectation to never let the best clients down. There were times when we had to work round the clock to be able to submit our best work. There was constantly competition amongst teams, within teams, to go above and beyond of what's expected out of you. And of course, being a chartered accountant student, I was anyway juggling studying for my undergraduate exams, studying for the chartered accountancy exams, as well as working round the clock. I worked really hard in those first 5 years of my career. I was able to manage all these activities and my time very well, and I learned the importance of sticking to deadlines. Every skill we pick up, we are able to use later in our life, either professionally or personally. Let me know if you want to see part 2 of this video where I can talk about some of the cons of working at the Big Four. Those 5 years of hard work at Kpmg have literally paved the way for the rest of my career. I was able to get a job at EY shortly after that, and I also highlighted that experience very strongly while making MBA applications, and I made sure to talk about all my client-facing experience at the current job I got in London. I'm very grateful for those 5 years of studying non-stop and hustling at work and literally being breathless at one point of time. Like I've always said, there will always be pros and cons of working at every organization, but you have to have a conversation with yourself and see where you fit best. Do comment down below if Kpmg or any other Big Four is your dream, and also tell me what are the skills you have picked up in your experience as a student or as a first-time employee. I always look forward to hearing from you all. I hope you found this video useful. I'll be back soon with another one, but until then, keep self-reflecting, visualizing your goals, and working hard towards them. I hope to see you soon. Bye!